How am I? Am I choppy? I look a bit choppy. The lighting's not great because it's dark outside. The lighting looks much better when I have like natural light. How's the hair? Is it okay? Wait. Oh. I gotta get the remote control here. Okay. I am kind of surprised that I still have hair. The medicine works, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I take finasteride and Rogaine because how old was I? I was maybe like 24 or 25 when I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm noticing some recession here. And went to a doctor, and I remember that being a big deal. Like, oh, I have to tell my parents. Like, that was like one of the hardest things up to that point that I had to do, is to tell my dad, like, I want to go to a doctor for my hair. I was just so embarrassed about it. I had a lot of anxiety about like going to doctors and stuff. I still do. I feel like I have this, like, I don't know, I have a couple things where I'm like, I should probably ask the doctor about this, but I don't know how to do that. Like, I have this kind of, sometimes after I eat on my left side, I just feel like this kind of pressure pushing out, like, my intestines or something. I'm like, I don't know how to explain that. What is that? Which is stupid, because you just say that to the doctor and he's like, oh, let's do some tests or whatever. Which is fine. Do all the tests. And also my heart. I feel like there might be something wrong with my heart, but maybe I'm just a hypochondriac. Sometimes I just feel like a thing in my chest. Not like heartburn. I don't know what it is. But that's the thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it, so it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes my chest feels weird. Like, what do you mean? Oh, I don't know. You're the doctor. You tell me. But yeah, my hair. I haven't noticed. It hasn't gotten really any worse since I took the medicine, which is, it hasn't gotten better, definitely, but it hasn't gotten worse, which is, I don't know. I mean, I complain about my hair all the time, but the fact that it's there helps me a lot, because I have a lot of like trouble with my identity and like, who even am I? And so like, if I started losing my hair, I'd be like, who even am I? But like, really though, because like now I don't have hair. This is so weird. I don't know. My brother lost all his hair and he shaved it. But he's like a big guy, so he's like a big tough guy, so he can shave his head and it's like always cool. I can't do that. I shave my head and it just like looks like I'm sick. Like I have some kind of disease. Let's switch it back until Pidgeot gets to level 19. Well, level 20. Okay, what was my note? I mean, do you want me to talk about manufacturing consent? I guess I could just do a little bit about it. I forget when I started. Whatever. We'll go for another 6 minutes, maybe. Let's do jujitsu. Oh, I forgot to talk about jujitsu. Jujitsu. Has anybody ever done like a jujitsu, like a sketch? I don't know. I can't do it because I'm not Jewish, but grapple maybe. I don't know. That's bad. Cut that out. Yeah, some Ponosaurus Rex was like, you should do jujitsu because it helps. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. Um, being like physical is weird for me, so that would help me get over just like, I don't like touching people or something. I don't know. So that would be like, yeah, you punch people and you grab them. I don't know. I could definitely try. I mean, the thing like you learn when you do all this stuff that I'm doing, like improv and hiking, is like if you're just kind of like not weird. I mean, I'm weird, but just like if you just are just kind of like quiet and you go to these things, people like you because they're like, oh yeah. I mean, obviously, like they want people to come to their thing, right? Like, oh yeah, we want people to come hiking with us. Like, so like they're gonna be nice to you. People like this guy is really nice to all the people at the improv because he's like, oh yeah, you paid for this improv class, and like if you didn't pay, there'd be nobody here. So like, it's cool that you're here. Um, and so they're nice to you, and they're like, hey Anthony, I'm happy to see you. If you're not just like annoying and like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm good at not being annoying. That's like the one thing I'm good at not doing. I don't think I ever really annoy anybody. But I think that's because I'm afraid of doing that. Ooh. Does Oddish evolve into... When I usually play this game, I usually don't get Oddish. But I'm like, I like Oddish. Well, if you have Bulbasaur, then you don't really need Oddish, right? Whatever. Manufacturing consent. We'll talk about it tomorrow, and I'll start it today. It's a book by Noam Chomsky, written in like 1988 or something, and it's an interesting book. I have some thoughts about it. It's about basically how the government and the media in America have this like incestual relationship. So like it's interesting because this was obviously written before the internet and cable news. Although I feel like he mentions CNN. CNN was like created in like 1992 or something. I don't know. Oh, it's interesting because he writes like an introduction, which is like an update. Like 10 years later, I think in like 2000 he wrote like an introduction update that's like, oh, cable news has changed things or something. And the internet. But he's like, this stuff is still stands, but like, oh, things are changing with technology. Yeah, it's interesting. It's yeah. I guess I'll talk about it tomorrow. I don't know if I want to start. I'll just say it's about how the media bias is it's not really like coordinated, but it just happens by the nature of how bureaucracies work. How all media, he doesn't say, well, what he says is public media is good, private media is bad, which we all know, right? Anything that has advertising, what they post and what they print is going to be influenced by things that maybe it shouldn't be. That's pretty much the point of the book. Is like any private media is going to be not great, and it tends to defend structural institutions like the government, just like the status quo of conservatism, which is interesting because you hear a lot recently, and this is kind of more of what I want to talk about, how the media is biased towards progressive. That's kind of not what Noam Chomsky's saying, but it kind of is. It's interesting. And that is kind of like more of a conservative like talking point, or like worry about the country is like, oh, the media is bad. Let's just kill this guy and then we'll be done. But the interesting thing is that is kind of a response to what Noam Chomsky is saying. It's just that the solutions that the conservative people always seem to propose to this problem is like, don't listen to the media, listen to me. What? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's what Trump does, right? He's like, don't listen to CNN, listen to me. I'm more trustworthy. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna end. Okay. Okay, if you're okay, then I'm okay, so okay.